Imagine a world where startups don't need walls full of people to thrive, where the spark of an idea, powered solely by artificial intelligence, builds its own product, finds its market, and scales, without a single human hand on the wheel. The excitement and terror of this possibility aren't just whispers in a conference room anymore. They're banging on the door of reality. For founders, investors, and leaders, this is no far-off sci-fi dream. It's a question that twists itself into the nerve center of your daily grind. How close are we to an AI-only startup? And what does that mean for your future, your legacy, your very role in the game? You felt it. The tension between the burning need to innovate and the exhausting friction of human limitations. Talent scarcity, endless meetings, misaligned teams, slow decision cycles, dragging your vision down. The dream gets tangled in the grotesque reality of bureaucracy, burnout, and that gnawing doubt. Can this machine called a startup really move fast enough, smart enough, in a world that seems to race ahead without waiting for anyone? Now imagine a fire so bright, it sears through those chains. AI transforming from a tool you manage to the very architect of your business. This isn't automation as a buzzword. This is a wholesale reinvention that demands you rethink everything you know. The pain points are blunt and brutal. Hiring feels like a lottery where you bet your company's future on strangers who might never sync with your vision. Human error, ego clashes, slow moves, bad hires, and the utterly endless noise of coordination. It's a drain that sucks out the spark. Yet here comes AI, not as a sidekick, but as the main actor, sculpting code by itself, crafting content, optimizing products, predicting markets with eerie precision, and pivoting instantly overnight. The incredible, mind-blowing thought? AI doesn't need a paycheck, doesn't get tired, and never forgets a lesson. It learns, evolves, and reinvents endlessly without a moment's hesitation. But it's not about replacing humans with cold, unfeeling machines. No, it's about clearing the exhaustion, the distractions, the noise so you, the real visionary, can escalate into a different role altogether. Strategic thinker, cosmic storyteller, connector of dots no algorithm could ever identify on its own. When the mundane, repetitive, and error-prone tasks evaporate beneath AI's relentless speed and precision, founders and investors can finally pour their energy into what matters: radical creativity, powerful new ideas, and building infrastructures that embrace the exceptional, the rare, the revolutionary. Still, this new landscape isn't for the faint-hearted or the comfortable. It demands facing the raw truth that the old ways are dying, slowly, painfully, and that clinging to human norms may become an anchor to obsolescence. Are you ready to question everything? To burn through centuries of inherited assumptions about what building a startup even means? The system insists that progress is linear, that scale needs armies of people, and that success walks the familiar path of funded rounds and crowded offices. But that system is breaking, and the edge, the place where radical change comes from, is calling those who dare to be part of the AI-only startup revolution. In this space, AI becomes the autonomous network, a collective intelligence that amplifies not the noise of many, but the pure essence of few minds aligned with clarity and vision. The biggest leap isn't what AI creates alone. It's the new synergy between human sovereignty and machine precision. Humans stop trying to control every detail and instead curate, guide, and unleash the profound potential in these algorithms. Imagine an ecosystem where misaligned brilliance finds its counterpart in machine scale and insight. A fusion so sharp, it cuts through the illusions that cloud traditional success. This is where power doesn't just replicate what already exists. It transforms reality itself. Here, the rules you once obeyed melt away. The old ideas of hierarchy and control give way to a new code, ruthless in its insistence on freedom, scrutiny, and alignment with only those who burn at the same frequency. In that scarcity, real community takes shape, not a mass diluted by comfort, but a fierce band of rare individuals who refuse mediocrity, reject consensus, and embody transformation. Look closely. This is not a story of surrendering human control. It's a call to awaken your inner power, sharper and more sovereign than ever, because you're no longer shackled by limits of flesh and time. The AI-only startup is your scythe, cutting through the weeds of inefficiency and distraction, a precision tool shaped by your vision and principles. This is not outsourcing your future to a faceless system. It's upgrading your role from worker bee to the rare few who dare not just to lead, but to become what's next. The distance from where we are now to an AI-only startup is shrinking every day. The building blocks are falling into place. Machine learning models writing better code than many engineers. AI-driven market analysis predicting trends before they happen. Content creation engines churning out targeted campaigns at lightning speed. Yet the shift won't happen all at once. It will unfold through those who recognize that AI can't just be a department or a feature. It must be the beating heart of the operation. For founders, that means embracing a new mindset, one that treasures hypothesis over ego, speed over perfection, and connection over control. For investors, the radar changes. You no longer back people simply because they've got charisma or hustle. You seek the rare crucible where human intent fuses with AI capability. You bet on the networks, the alignment of energies, and the relentless refinement of machine-driven iteration. Because the true alpha in the next decade won't just be about capital or ideas. It will be about who can architect the ecosystem where AI accelerates true value. This path is raw and uncompromising. It demands patience because eternity favors those who play the long game. You can't hack your way to an AI-only startup overnight. You deconstruct what you thought a startup was, strip away the excess, and then reassemble it with AI at the core, constantly learning, adjusting, becoming more. This is a radical unlearning, shedding the myths of what success used to mean, then fiercely reimagining what it can become. At its heart, the AI-only startup is a rebellion against the comfortable, the compliant, the critics of change who hold back humanity's greatest power, the liberated individual. This power lives not in isolation, but in connection, in the fierce, complementary links forged between misaligned brilliance and aligned technology. Here is your invitation to become that rare force, to transform your pain points into breathtaking advantage, to wield AI as a sword of clarity, slicing through the noise of routine, doubt, and mediocrity. Every moment you hesitate, someone else is weaving this new reality. Don't let the fear of losing what you know trap you in a system designed to hold you down. Instead, imagine leading a startup where AI doesn't just assist, it owns the routine, the grind, the iteration. While you dream bigger, move faster, and break barriers human teams never dreamed possible. Feel the electric pulse of potential. This is not about survival. It is total liberation. The time is now to reject the status quo, to abandon waiting, to stop living a borrowed life built on illusions. You already sensed it inside, the unbearable tension, the fire that refuses to die. The AI-only startup is not just a concept. It's a battleground for those who dare to redefine reality, to be sovereign creators of their future, masters not just of technology, but of themselves. This is a movement for founders who won't settle, for investors who bet on the edge, for professionals hungry to blaze trails where others only see walls. Embrace the future, where AI doesn't just automate tasks, but invents, leads, and disrupts at scissor speed. Harness this unstoppable force and become not just a player in the startup game, but a revolutionary, crafting a new world where power, insight, and creation are forged from a spark between human will and machine brilliance. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for consensus. This is for those who know that the greatest risk is standing still while the world remakes itself faster than any of us imagined. The AI-only startup is already here. The question isn't if, it's who will rise to wield it, and will that be you?